Welcome to an exciting journey into the world of auctions. We will navigate the legal intricacies, explore digital innovations, delve into the economic impact, uncover hidden treasures, and ensure your confidence with consumer protection. So whether you're a seasoned pro or a curious newcomer, this is your backstage pass to the voice of auction.
Jeff, who would believe that we're actually sitting in a 2 million rand car?
Yeah, no one really.
Well, that's the power of marketing. I
It
mean,
is.
that's what we're shooting. It brings me to this topic, understanding market trends and, general marketing in auction. What are the key things to consider, obviously, before marketing any product in auction?
Well, auctions create the marketing trends. If you want to have a willing buyer and a willing seller, I've always said to our clients, how do you sell a Picasso? You can't. You only auction it. No idea what it's worth, so you have to put it on a free and fair and transparent public auction, and the market will dictate what they're willing to pay for it. If you don't get the marketing campaign right before your auction, don't even bother coming to the auction. The campaign is critical, as critical as the auctioneer on the block is with his gavel.
Yeah.
If you don't get the campaign right, you don't get the marketing right. A lot of my American friends have been hammering my head for years, teaching me about the auction method of marketing, and I've been having arguments with them for over a decade. It's the auction method of sale.
Yeah.
And it took about 15 years for me to figure it out, and they finally got it into my head. And it is, auctions are accelerated marketing campaigns. What a broker or an agent would do in 6 months, an auctioneer could do in 60 seconds. So
Wow.
what you're sitting in here is a 1965 Corvette Stingray convertible, which, as the movie says, is literally gone in 60 seconds. That's how long it takes us to auction off one of these collector cars. But if you don't get the campaign right, and you don't get the reach and the penetration into the right demographics of the market you're looking for, it's not going to work. So the marketing campaign is critical.
Yeah. Well, without giving out too much, I understand you wouldn't want to give out too much because you've put a lot of research and education into getting yourself to know how the marketing campaign goes. But we would like to educate our audience. What are the key things to consider when planning a campaign for an auctioning event or for any auction generally?
Know your product, know your asset, know your buyers, target marketing. The old days of print media, using a shotgun approach and hopefully eventually hitting someone like fish in a barrel, it's just not going to work out. Social media is incredibly important nowadays. Having a data-driven and understanding those analytics of your data and the demographics of your buyers is absolutely critical. So, if you don't know enough about social media or behind the scenes analytics or at least the meta dashboard, go online, take a course in it, or get someone that's way cleverer than you, which is what we do here, Creative Rides. We get the really clever people in, and they do it for us. You're only as good as your last auction, and understanding the dynamics of your buyers and how to use that data to attract your buyers it's Bible now. If you don't get that right, you're never going to sell anything.
Yeah. Well, thanks for that insight. What role does, market fluctuations play in this campaign, or rather play in the marketing of items in auction?
Market fluctuation, it happens literally, especially in the South African market. It's a really difficult market at the moment. So market fluctuations, it literally moves from auction to auction. We had our first Monte Cassino auction about a year ago this time, July, August in 2022. And American Muscle was the hot topic and the hot cars, and that was the hot metal at the moment. This year, it moved to German. BMWs made in South Africa, Porsches, Mercedes. 90% of all our German stock, if not 100% of all our German collector cars, went on the Fall of the Hammer.
Wow.
We really battled with the American Muscle. So the market moved already. You have to keep your finger on the pulse. You have to check your back end. You have to check the reach of who's watching your ads, how old are they, where they're living, what culture they're from, what are their traditions, their age groups. We've now noticed the big shift from baby boomers to Gen X and Gen Ys. They are now our biggest buying pool, probably more than 30%, whereby last year the baby boomers were still leading. Now the Gen X, the Gen Ys, if you're born from 70s and 80s, they're now reaching their sort of maximum income potential, where the baby boomers are starting to fade out, literally and figuratively. We're auctioning off a lot of estates, a lot of collections, private collections, where the owners are cashing in, or the executors call us and ask us to auction off their private collections. And there's not 5 or 10 cars, it's 50, 100, 200 cars per collection. So, they're calling it the biggest transfer of wealth in living human history. And that's literally what it is. But the buying demographics have changed. We watch the back end of our streams and our auctions, say who's watching it, where they're from, what age groups, what sex are they, what culture they're from, which culture they're from, and it's changing. It's changing very fast.
Yeah. And where are we seeing the future of, classic cars? I mean, is it something, is it a trend that...
Yeah, the future is tech. The future is technology with classic cars. We had 11 countries bidding on our auctions a month ago. We had 200 cars on auction over 2 days. We had 11 countries bidding. Now, most people think, the best of our collections are leaving the country because of our exchange rate. That's not the case. Less than 5%, somewhere between 5 and 10% leave our country. The South Africans are outbidding the international buyers in rands to keep the cars here because they're such good investments. So the online technology has changed the platform immensely. It's changed the dynamics of having a couple of hundred people in a room to now having 15 to 20,000 watching your stream online, logging on the app and bidding online. If people are comfortable with the tech and comfortable with your company, they'll sit on the beach and bid on their phones. So, COVID for us was a blessing. We were trying to...
Don't say that. Don't say that. Don't say that.
COVID changed the business literally overnight. We were spending millions of money trying to convert our buyers to migrate them online. We couldn't do it. They were suspicious. They didn't like it. They didn't want to. They wanted to come in and kick the tires and touch the leather. COVID did it for free in 3 months. Everyone went online. You didn't have a choice.
Yeah.
That was our life. We didn't have a choice. How do you bank? You bank on your phone.
Yeah.
How do you buy classic cars? You now do it on your phone. So our buying power has now literally gone global. We've sold on auction collector cars to 3 continents in the last 2 years. Our buying power, our buying pool is so much bigger than just being Johannesburg or just being Cape Town, with 90% of the collector car market is in the country. Now it's a little man sitting in Miami or a guy sitting in India. We have auctioned off, I think in the last 2 years, to between 11 and 15 countries.
Wow.
And the cars have exported and
That
gone.
is quite impressive.
It's crazy.
Oh, wow. Well, thank you so much for sharing that insight. I'll let you go now, just so you can start your day and all of that. I've kept you here for so long, but we really appreciate it. Thank you so much, and thanks so much for sharing that feedback as well.
It's been a privilege in a really crappy office space. So where can you sit and have a Corvette as an office?